Okay, guys, so I guess this is part two of my herbal video because the other one, yeah, it stopped. So let's see, where was I? Oh, yes, right. I was at cardiac glycosides, like Foxglove. Okay, so of course, like I said, they are found most notably in foxglove, but cardiac glycosides are also in other plants, like lily of the valley. Cardiac glycosides such as digoxin, and convalitoxin have a strong direct action on the heart, supporting its strength, its rate of contraction when it is failing. So basically, what that means is that, okay, so you have heart problems. Like maybe you have irregular heartbeat or something, for an example. So they give you a cardiac glycoside, which is usually a biomed. Very rarely do they prescribe herbals. And you take that and it helps your heart. Cardiac glycosides are also significantly diuretic, meaning they help you pee. Let's be honest. So what this does is when you urinate, it removes excess water from your system, from your circulatory system and your tissues. So when you have trouble urinating, then you have a buildup of fluids in your body. And cardiac glycosides help with that. Okay, so our next plant constituent is cyanogenic glycosides. Now I know what you're thinking, oh my gosh, they're based on cyanide, it's a poison. But as long as you take them in small doses, they're very helpful. If you're going to be, well, don't let me sugarcoat it for you. If you're going to be an idiot and take too many, then yes, you're going to kill yourself. If you choose not to listen to your herbal practitioner, that's your fault. Okay, so in small doses, cyanogenic glycosides are a helpful sedative, and they also are a muscle relaxant. Wild cherry bark, for example, and elder leaves. They both contain cyanogenic glycosides, but the good thing is that both of them suppress cough and soothe irritated dry coughs. So, like, there are a lot of fruit kernels, for example, like apricots, that contain high levels of cyanogenic glycosides, which means that should you accidentally consume this, you'll poison yourself, most likely. Also, apple seeds contain high levels of cyanogenic glycosides, but because they're so small, you have to eat like literally a ton to kill yourself. So there's that. If you want to build an immunity up to cyanogenic glycosides, I would suggest eating apple seeds, but I wouldn't suggest that you actually go through with it. All right, let's see. Oh, there's my pretty face. Ha 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 ha. All right. Our next herb constituent that we're going to talk about are polysaccharides. Now, you know this from food, so, you know what you're dealing with already in a polysaccharide. Polysaccharides are found in every single plant in existence. And basically, a polysaccharide is a sugar molecule, like a lot of sugar molecules, all linked together. They are the sticky mucilages and gums, which you would find in your roots, your bark, your leaves, and your seeds. They are the most important polysaccharide in a plant. Both mucilage and gum soak up large quantities of water, producing a sticky jelly-like mass that can be used as a poultice to soothe and protect irritated tissues. Or you could take it internally and it would help protect the irritated tissues of the mucous membranes in your stomach, for example, in your gut. It also helps with dry, irritated skin. So if you don't want to go to the store and buy a bunch of lotions or whatever to, help your skin and spend all that money, well, you could just get some slippery elm. Or something like that, and make yourself a little paste and put it on your skin, and bam, there you go. Slippery elm is a mucilaginous herb, as is linseed and flaxseed, and are best prepared by soaking or macerating in plenty of cold water. So when you do this, it makes like the jelly. And some polysaccharides stimulate the immune system. For example, acemagnin, which is found in the leaves of aloe vera. Aloe vera also helps with constipation, burns, bruises, so on and so forth. And we'll get into that a little bit later. All right, our next herbal constituent is glucosinolates. And you're like, why? What the hell is that? A glucosinolate is exclusively found in species of the mustard and cabbage family. So those of you who like radishes, collard greens, mustard greens, cabbage, stuff, Brussels sprouts, you're eating glucosinolates. They are, unfortunately, they're not very good for your skin, but they are amazing for joints. So what glucosinolates do is, their negative effect is that they can cause pain, inflammation and blistering of the skin, which is bad. But when you put it on your joints, they increase the blood flow to the affected area, which helps to remove the buildup of waste products. So it eases your joint pain. When you eat them, they produce a strong pungent taste, which is why Brussels sprouts are so gross. When you eat them, radishes and watercress have these. Watercress tastes kind of sweet though. Radishes, not so much, but they're still good. Let's see. Our next constituent is bitters. Now we're getting into your aloe bitters, your wormwood, so on and so forth. Bitters are varied, and they are only linked by their pronounced bitter taste, which is why they're called bitters. This bitter, gross taste stimulates saliva secretion, and of course stomach acid secretion, and so on and so forth. So what this does is that bitters are taken to improve people with poor appetite. So if you're someone who likes to eat but doesn't eat much because you have a poor appetite, bitters will help with that. It also helps to improve your absorption and digestion of food. Many of them have constituents like wormwood, choretta, and hops, which is why your beer tastes bitter. Because it's made with lots and lots of hops. Ugh. Our next constituent is alkaloids. Yay, we know what alkaloids are. Okay, good for you. So alkaloids are also a very mixed up group, and they're mostly nitrogen-bearing molecules, which makes them particularly pharmacologically active. So a lot of them are biomeds, such as vincristine, which is derived from the Madagascar periwinkle, and it was used to treat cancer. So that's really cool. Such as some other alkaloids, such as atropine, which is found in deadly nightshade, have a direct body effect on the body, meaning it reduces spasms, relaxes your muscles, relieves your pain, but it also dries up your bodily secretions. So a little bit of atropine would probably help your diarrhea. Who knows? Okay, so another constituent, it's like an umbrella term, are vitamins. Now, we all know what vitamins are. And a lot of people overlook them because they think, oh, those are only biomeds. You can only find them in the... No, that's not true. You can find them in nature as well. Dog rose has high levels of vitamin C, and carrots are rich in beta carotenes, which is a provitamin A. Watercress also has appreciable levels of B1, B2, C, and E, as well as beta carotene, while C. buckthorn can be regarded as a vitamin and mineral supplement, and so on. So if you don't want to go to the store and buy these, over-the-counter vitamins or whatever, just eat certain things. Do your research, look it up, and, find what you need to find, and, eat that if possible, if you're not allergic, or if, you're not supposed to have it or whatnot. And, get your vitamins. You don't have to go spend $20, $30, $40 at the vitamin store when you could just go to your local, Home Depot, Lowe's, supermarket, whatever, and spend, $5 or $6. Our last constituent is also overlooked, is minerals. And that's also an umbrella term for a lot of things such as phosphates and so on and so forth. So dandelions are high in minerals. Many people think, oh, that's a weed, but you don't eat the whole thing. You just eat the leaves. And they're really good in salad. So most of your minerals will be found in veggies and medicinal foods. So like organically grown ones have more minerals because they draw them from the soil. But don't sweat on ones that you grow in a pot. But when you get your vitamins and minerals and such, try to make sure they're not genetically modified, because they're not real minerals and vitamins that way. So cabbage has minerals in it. Bladderwrack, which is taken as a medicine, also has minerals. Dandelion leaves have potassium, high potassium content. So they're good for diuretic, to help you pee. Because what did we learn that pee does? It helps you get rid of your excess fluid, right? The more you pee, the less extra fluid you have. The less you pee, the more fluid you retain. Horsetail has high silica content, which supports the repair of connective tissue, aka arthritis. So people with arthritis would benefit from a diet that's high in silica, because silica repairs your muscles, or your connective tissue, Hence, you could probably drop some of your arthritis medicines if you just ate more silica. Right? Right. Okay. So I've gone over, each herb constituent actively. And now we're going to talk about some quality control. Well, Twy, what's quality control? Good question, guys. Quality control is you make sure that they're properly grown, well-dried, correctly processed. And if you buy them from the whole food instead of making them yourself, make sure that they're not expired. Because the better quality of your herbs, the fresher, the, better dried, blah, 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 is a better use of your money. So yeah, you might spend a little extra for that really good stuff, but wouldn't you rather spend a little extra and reap all the benefits than buy that cheap, half-wilted, herb or whatever and then get sick? I mean, it's not rocket science, guys. Let's see. Okay. So I'm sure you're wondering, well, Twy, what if I want to buy herbal medicine? That's a good question. Okay, so when you buy herbal medicine, It's usually most convenient to buy capsules, tablets, essential oils, and so on and so forth. And then you make up your own stuff. So one of the tips that they give you is to buy from a reputable herb store. So when you walk into an herbal store that they advertise selling herbs for medicinal purposes, you want to make sure that the staff knows what they're doing. They can answer your questions and they know exactly how to help you. If you walk in and you see some person behind the counter on their cell phone chewing gum and you're like, oh, what would I use for a stomach ache? Oh, no. Okay, maybe that's not the best place to be. You should probably walk out and go. If you're going to buy your herbs online, make sure that your herbal supplier is established. Because if they're not established, then chances are they probably haven't sold so much for whatever reason. Established isn't always good, but it's safer, I should say. When you buy your herbs and herbal products, spend that little extra money and try to buy organic because they're non-genetically modified, there's no pesticides, so on and so forth. Whereas non-organic herbs, I mean all plants are organic, but herbs that are grown, with pesticides and whatnot tend to tend to have a different taste, I suppose. Okay, so you want to buy dry herbs. Okay, you want to make your own, your own tablets, capsules, whatever. That's great, because then you know how much you're putting in. Okay, so dry herbs, you can usually find them at Walmart, Target, anywhere they sell food, you can find some dried herbs. Now, they prefer you to buy them in the shop rather than online because you can examine, you can go to Walmart and look at the dried herbs, but if you're ordering from, say, Amazon, you only have that picture to rely on, and the picture could probably be wrong. But they do say that online companies, some of them, could supply you fresher herbs because of a higher turnover rate. More people buy and they run out quicker and they have to restock faster. So, it's really your preference. Again, good quality herbs, not shoddy, crappy pieces of garbage, is your best bet. Let's see. Okay, so when you walk into a shop and you look at the display of herbs, make sure that they are not stored in clear glass jars or right smack dab in the sun, because it will cause oxidation, which is the production of oxygen, of course, or not oxygen, rust in iron and other metals, which affects their efficiency, meaning it cuts it. So if you're going to buy an aromatic herb just to smell, they should have a distinct scent and they should taste very distinct as well. If you're buying rosemary and you try a piece of rosemary, you want it to taste like rosemary, right? You don't want it to taste like grass. So also when you're buying dried herbs, look for infestations. Basically like dried grass or other non-medical materials in the jars. If they have that, it's poorly dried or adulterated and you don't want it. So when you're looking at the herb, if they're bright, then they're fresher, they're better, you want to buy those. But if they're drab and wilted looking and kind of pale, then you might not want that. Yeah, they might charge you a little extra for the fresh stuff, but it's worth it. Calendula, for example, which is English marigold, they are vivid yellow-orange flowers, but as they age, they turn a little paler. And your dried calendula is only good for a year and a half, 18 months. Anything after that, they start to, lose their color. So when you buy herbal products such as capsules, tablets, essential oils, pestiaries, and tinctures, always check the label. If it does not do the following, stay away. Name all the constituents in the product. So like if you can look at it and it says ingredients, coumarin, blah, 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 then, if it's all the constituents listed, then you're good so far. It should also state the recommended daily dosage. So if it says, you've got all the constituents, it says take twice daily, no more than, 4 doses in a 24-hour period. That's good. It states the weight of each capsule or tablet or volume of the bottle. So let's say each capsule weighs like 0.0005 ounces. So you've got probably, about an ounce or 2. Okay, that's good. Same with the bottle of tincture. Say it's 50 milliliters or 750 milliliters or whatever. Or if it's a gallon or 10 gallons. If you buy that much tincture, go you. So then it needs to list the weight of each constituent. So they've weighed out the herb. It's 4 grams, 10 grams, 6 grams, or whatever. It also lists the ratio of herb to liquid. So example 1 to 3. It's 1 part of herb to 3 parts of liquid. If it doesn't state all of that, don't buy it because it's probably not going to help you. Let's see, what's our next touch on? Okay, I believe that is everything that we're going to cover today. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye-bye.